This is Goddess Raven, and this is Sipping It Up with Goddess Raven. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you can get my latest video. And if you have subscribed already, thank you. Let's get all up into this. Yes, 100% yes. Pamela Long from Total needs to get dragged because she was out there spreading straight lies to all of us women out there, claiming that her man, her ex-husband, matter of fact, not her man, her ex-husband was a liar, a user, and was basically using Cynthia Brown for a come up, for her coins, that he was abusive. He was everything underneath the damn sun. This woman accused him of everything that you could think of evil. I mean, everything. She accused him of everything. And you went on this long rant about all the ish that this man did to you. And then you had to know, you recall and you remember this, and you know this is true, and all of that, and you know what happened between me and you. All of that acting that you gave us. You know what, your ass need to be in a Broadway play when Broadway opened back up, because telling you, you sure put on a performance, boo-boo. Kudos on your performance. But you need your ass dragged, not for one day, but for days. Because as long as it kept going in the media, what you said about that man, you have ruined. You don't know how many opportunities for coins or bags you might have ruined behind what you said. And then you just like, yeah, my bad, sorry, and just get to go off into the yonder, go into the sunset, and just chill, and then no repercussions, no nothing for any of the shit that you done cause? Yeah, okay. No. No. You know what damage you could have caused. And then you causing problems between this man and his new wife. Well, I'm trying to figure out what was the whole point of that. Like, I'm starting to say, is it a Carly B and Offset song moment? Do anything for cloud? Or did you get a taste of the fucking bitter brew? I'm starting to think that it was 100% bitter's brew that you were sipping on that made you decide to do what you did. The fact that that man is standing next to her, proud of her, while she was locked up, basically holding things down, made sure when she got home, she came home to a house, clothes and everything. And are you jealous because this man clearly seems to have this woman back and is proud to, tell the world that that's his woman? Is this all bitter juice that made you tell all these lies, these horrible, horrible, horrible lies? I want to get into her little. Let's get all up into her story time. Let's see.
Some of the things that I say, but there was this story that came out 1-something in the morning that was a straight lie. And I'm talking to you as my brother because I want you to hear me. And I'm talking to everybody else. It was a straight lie. And if I sit back and not open my mouth, then that's something that I feel that is not right. And it's time for me to speak regardless of if people agree with me or not. And so with all of that being said, there was a story that came out from my ex-husband, Jamie Long, last night. It was a letter from his camp, or an email from his camp that was sent. And it was the most horrific lie. It was so strategically put together to try to bring a whole a couple of things that I went through in my life, even when I worked at White Castles, it was trying to say that it was put together as if when he met me, this was where I was in my life, which in fact was not so. It also entailed when I worked at a place called MTF. And yes, I did work at White Castles by choice. You know, when you come from a place where you give your life to the Lord, there are some things that you don't know that you have, meaning that I didn't know that I was so prideful. And I remember when I didn't have to go to White Castles. I made the choice to go because I said to God, I need for you to humble me. When I was working at White Castles, I had people calling me, asking me, Pam, can you come do this song for 5 G's? Can you do this song for this amount of money, that amount of money? And my response was no. The reason why I said no is because God told me no. I worked at White Castles for over 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that people would walk inside, come in and stand there and say, some would say, yes, that is her. Some would come and some would be like, Pam, like, I ain't gonna out you. Yo, sis, like, yo, what you doing here? And, you know, I would talk to him and I'd be like, you know, I'm here, I'm working or whatever. And then, you know, I'd be like, I'm working. I'd be like, yo, but you holding up the line, though. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have a full conversation. I'm working the register. But with all of that being said, the people don't know the reason or the depth as to why I went there. I had to go there because I had to humble myself under the mighty hand of God. And I said to God, I said,
now you saying all of this under the mighty hand of God, I had to humble myself. And then a couple breaths later down the road, you spew a bunch of lies? Like, how you talking about God humbling you? And then in the next breath, you go and sip the most bitterest of brews and tell these lies. See, you can't get a pass on this, boo boo. You can't get a pass on this. You need to be dragged for days for what you done. You wrong.
If I'm supposed to go to White Castles, I said to him, I put spots on the pictures, you know what I mean? It was just like God was humble. $7 and I think $7.50. And every place that he took me to, it was like I was ministering to people.
Share, you
so
guys.
it was just like so it was just like I had to go. Came from Texas and you moved up here me to be with women, so she wanted me to marry him, you know, because
okay, yeah, we're getting into this.
He said that my mother wanted me to get married to a man because my choice was women. And my mom, my mom didn't want me to be with women, so she wanted me to marry him, you know, because he was a man. He also said that in our marriage that he was, I lived in my mother's basement, which in fact, I didn't just live there, he did as well too. Come on, somebody. You came from Texas and you moved up here and you lived with me in my mother's basement until you lied to me and you told me we was going to Atlanta, and we wound up in Alabama as we drove past Atlanta. And I looked up, I said, Atlanta right there. He said, just a little further. We just a little outside of Atlanta. And 2 hours later, we make a stop. And you remember when I said I wasn't living there, right? Oh, you don't. You got amnesia? You got amnesia, I'm pretty sure.
You remember, don't you? Huh? You remember. Look at her. She's testifying. So we could tune into Pam's world and I don't know what was this about? Was this to breathe oxygen into the stuff that you were doing and get people to tune into you? I want to know, when you published this book that you did recently, did you include the truth that you have lied on your ex-husband in this book? I doubt it. You're wrong, girl. You're wrong. This whole testimonial stuff that you pulled and had us out here dragging that man, not me, but you had people out there dragging this man, and it was all lies.
Sure you did. So let me help you to remind you of
Oh,
what it
here
is
she
that
goes
you
with her
said to me
reminding.
and how I was just like, I'm not living here, and how I cried at your sister, at your brother's place. Remember that?
You
And
remember that?
you was like,
You
please,
remember
please.
that?
We and finally, of
And
course, I stayed
she
because of what
is
I was
Jaguar
married
Wright's
to you.
sister.
But you also stated that when we were together, that you was only with me for like 2 months. Really? I don't remember that, because you left, as you quote unquote, when you said to me, I left my son, I left everything. I never told you to leave your son. Never, ever told you to leave your son. But you lived with me in New Jersey. Then from New Jersey, we went to Alabama, and then from Alabama to Texas. So that sounds like more than 2 months, because we was married. We got married when
Is this
2013 to
jealousy?
2015, 16, and
Is this
16
jealousy because he
was right before my
clearly
mother passed
left
away,
your ass for
is
some
when you and I, the divorce happened.
y'all
So now I
didn't
want to talk about
last?
the
Are you
divorce.
mad that y'all didn't last?
Someone from, I don't think it was the neighborhood. I can't remember exactly who it was. The young lady had asked me for a comment, and I didn't respond right away. I just let it go. And I remember feeling like I needed to say something. I believe I got the okay from God to open my mouth, because I was still trying my best to.
So did God tell you to lie, Pam? This is what I'm talking about. People want to pretend to be prophets. Stop turning people into prophets, and stop turning the people for, and some people for truth. This woman has thrown God up in the mix. You know, I looked and I got permission from God, and I got permission to God. And do you remember that I said I cried and I said I wouldn't live here? Do you remember? Do you? I got on my knees and I cried, and I went to God, and God gave me permission because I got God's personal cell phone number. Yes, I do. I got God's personal cell phone number, and I went to God, and God gave me permission in a text. He said in a text that I should reveal all this that you have done to me, Mr. Long, my ex-husband. And you revealed a bunch of caca, fake BS, and then had the nerve to say in the next breath, I am protecting you. I am protecting you. How are you protecting me? By putting me on blast with a bunch of lies, destroying my reputation, destroying the chance of me to get a bag because you bitter, because you sucking bitter brew juice. She didn't be dragged for this lie. And I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about it that people really need to drag her online for this. We should not just let this just slide. No, we should not let it slide.
To cover you, because that's all I pretty much did, because of you being who you are. And you know who you are, Jamie. You know that you are nasty. You know that you are nasty, not just to me, but you've been nasty to your mother. You've been nasty to your sister, to your brother, to your family. I've seen it. I've seen it. They see it, but they don't speak up. And the reason why Pam got a lot of backlash, Pam, and let me just say one thing about Pam. Pam was never the perfect wife. Pam was never the one that was,
you ain't dooful
said
either.
that she was perfect. But what I did do is that I loved you, and I was trying to do what I thought I needed to do as a wife. But when I did not agree with you, and I didn't agree with the stuff that you was doing to some of your friends, that you treated men like they was little boys, and I said to you, Jamie, that's not right. Or the lady that was in the store, the woman of a different race, and I said something to you, and you blew up, and it's just like, oh, you gonna take their side, and you gonna do this, and you gonna do that. The same Jamie Long that said that he loved me, but the same Jamie Long that flew me across the bed at Kima's house. Come on, somebody. You want to talk about it. We're going to.
You hear the BS this woman put down. And she don't deserve to be dragged for days. She deserve a good whole entire month worth of dragging for what she has said. Yes. Now let's get into the apology. Okay, that's half the filth. I'm not getting all the way into the filth that she wrote. She said, no, but I just want to give you a little snippet of the filth that she said. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Let's keep going. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Let's get all into this now.
I come before you today with deep regrets concerning the statement that I'm about to make. On October the 20th, 2019, from my show Pam's World, comment about my ex-husband, Jamie Long, and forces himself on women. And right after that, I said, do you remember that night? I was telling the world, basically, I was telling the world that my ex-husband, not even basically.
Now let's get back into this lie. Hear it again.
Today with deep regrets concerning the statement that I'm about to make. On October the 20th, 2019, from my show Pam's World, I made a comment about my ex-husband, Jamie Long. And that comment was that he forces himself on women. And right after that, I said, do you remember that night? I was telling the world, basically, I was telling the world that my ex-husband, not even basically, I was telling the world that my ex-husband forced himself on me sexually. And that was a lie. Jamie, I'm sorry for what it is that I have said about you. I'm sorry for the shame that I have brought to your name, to your family, to you, your wife, your mom, your sister, and those who love you. Also to my family, to my church family.
Do you believe this? Do you believe this? That's all we need to listen to. Do you believe this? Lies. Lies, 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 lies. She need her ass drug for a whole entire month for them lies. That could have ruined that man's life. That could have ruined that man's marriage. For what? Because you sucking on bitter brew juice. Y'all comment below and tell me what y'all think. For real. All right? Bye.